Hey everyone, the last Shoegazer here, bringing you a movie review for this review is a part of my good buddy Joe, TheHORRORman's weekly Saturday Slashback series. And this week's theme is red carpet slashers, where we had to pick a slasher that starred a very noticeable actor who's played in a lot of different kinds of movies and isn't just known for their part in horror films. A couple of different movies went through my mind, one of them being Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers with Paul Rudd. I decided to go with the Maniac remake of the 1980 original with Joe Spinell playing Frank Zito, which was actually one of the earlier About Last Nightmare reviews that Jason from Horrific Nightmares JM and I did in our series as we kind of kicked that off and started to check out some new stuff, at least on my end, and that was one of them. That was one that he always liked, and I absolutely love that film. So definitely, if you're curious of my thoughts on that one, check out our two-part review on that film. This is the remake starring good old Elijah Wood. He is a phenomenal actor. Did a really, really great job playing Frodo in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit films. He and I, go way back with regard to film. Back in the day, watching stuff like Flipper and his more serious role in The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. Just a lot of really, really good roles. He's done a lot of indie stuff. More recently, I really liked him in Cooties with Rainn Wilson. Just a very versatile, real, I think, awesome actor. And his portrayal of Frank in this 2013 remake, which is very different from the original, is just spot on and very heartbreaking, yet very twisted and disturbing. So if you like the original and you're kind of curious about where they might go in different directions, to kind of deviate, that's what they did here. Definitely paying tribute to the original. Matter of fact, there's even some imagery which fans of the original with Joe Spinell will definitely pick up on, and I thought it was done very tastefully. Almost gave me chills with a couple of the moments that were very much reminiscent of the original, and even some other kind of interwoven tributes to other similar films, like one of the songs in The Silence of the Lambs, whenever the killer there is kind of doing his thing behind closed doors, very similar to Frank Zito and what he's kind of plagued with. But while the original, in my opinion, was very much seedy and grimy and kind of going into the other underbelly of the city and seeing Joe's kind of like layer. We kind of got into the mind of Frank and saw him wanting love and just, kind of trying to go about it in all the right ways, but obtaining it in very twisted, horrific ways, and kind of, hating himself for it. And, it was a very different slasher in that respect. You're, not too often does your heart break for the killer. And mine definitely did watching that. And once again, with this experience, with the remake and Elijah Wood playing a very, very sad character in his portrayal of Frank Zito, and definitely, practicing similar habits and showing very similar behavior, but also falling in love and hating himself. And but this time we kind of go a little bit deeper into like the backstory of why Frank is the way he is, and what might have really impacted him at a young age, and his mother, and some of her behavior, and what he witnesses. And it's just no upbringing for a child. So it's kind of paves the way for his insanity, and his void filling that he kind of tries to take care of as he's sort of fulfilling other needs. But yeah, just very, very heartbreaking, but super riveting and disturbing, and just gripping completely. And aside from some of those similarities, there's some big differences here too. Just the overall atmosphere is a little bit different in this. I felt like, as I said before, the original was more seedy and almost kind of gross feeling. And this one was a little bit more smooth and stylish, and definitely a more modern take, and seeing a little bit more into the life of and growing up of the character of Frank, and also seeing things through his eyes more. The point of view shots, the characters kind of interacting with Frank as they're kind of getting to meet him, and he's sort of seducing them and tricking them with his tactics to kind of lure in his victims. Yeah, so I really liked that change, and I thought it was very intelligent, and I thought Elijah Wood really did well with with his voice and his speech, and everything was just very intelligent and articulated and very well thought out. But you could still hear the insanity and the kind of the sadistic underlying kind of intentions behind his voice and his interactions. So I really liked the similarities, the tributes, some more subtle than others, but this is definitely an awesome take on the original. Just a wonderful remake starring Elijah Wood, phenomenal actor. Always going to think of him as good old Frodo, and from one of my favorite film franchises of all time there, Lord of the Rings. I also enjoy The Hobbit. One of my all-time favorite films is The Fellowship of the Ring. I could watch that like every day and be happy. So and that's that just shows how much of a quality actor he is, because he definitely contributes to my interest in that film, very much so. And I like his more independent efforts, as well as some of his younger efforts. As I said, the Good Son with Macaulay Culkin, very powerful actor even at a young age. So yeah, Joe, this is my contribution to this week's Slashback series. And I think this was a really good idea. I can't wait to see what you have in store for us this coming week, and see what you guys picked for this week as well. So that is my review for 2013's Maniac remake. All right, guys, have a great Saturday, wonderful weekend, and thanks for watching.